Hi everybody, and welcome to a brand new unit. This is Unit E. This is on similarity. We're going to talk about similar shapes, similar triangles, similar polygons. We're going to talk about algebraic concepts between them and properties between these similar shapes. We want to talk first of all about writing ratios and solving proportions. You probably have done this, probably back even in middle school, that you did proportions. So what you're going to see here is that you can write ratios and proportions. So a ratio is a comparison of two quantities. So if we compare A to B, we can write it three different ways. Excuse me. A fractional way is really probably the most preferred way to write a ratio, A over B. But you could also use the colon, A to B, or write A to B. We rarely use that, and we don't use that often, but most of the time in a math class, we'll use A over B. All right, we can use an extended ratio, which compares more than two quantities. So we could do A to B to C, A to B to C. Can't really do a fraction with A to B to C, but you could do a couple of fractions that might represent that. And by the way, ratios use the same units of measure, 5 feet over 8 feet. 5 to 8. A proportion is an equation that states that two ratios are equal. So here's 2 to 3, 4 to 6. It's really better to write them as a fraction, 2 over 3 and 4 over 6, and they equal each other. You'll see that the outside numbers are called the extremes, the inside numbers are called the means. It's really not that important to remember that, but what is important to remember is that we can cross-multiply proportions. Whenever two fractions equal each other, we can say the numerator of one fraction times the denominator of the other fraction is equal to the numerator of the second fraction divided by, or times the denominator of the first fraction. So you'll see that in an example. So cross multiplication in a proportion, the product of those extremes and means is cross multiplication. And here's an example here. If we multiply 2 times 6, we get 12. If you multiply 3 times 4, you get 12. 12 equals 12. Okay, and so there's your notes. We'll look at some examples down the line here after you work on your SWIC. If you need some more help, check out the examples there.